quick side note, at the beginning of this episode, audio was not recorded, and thus I will very quickly summarize what happened in the beginning of this episode. As the party was confronted outside of the wizard's tower by a group of orc carrying emblems of a dark horn, they seemed to have recognized Zira due to her previous involvement with them in some way. One of them, the leader of the group, had actually very severe burn marks, acid burn marks, which Zira recognized. The party fought and defeated these orcs, after which they began their travel back to Outpost Pomoria, where they, on the way, met a Tabaxi hunter named Trickery, who was hunting something in the area, and the party was disturbing his hunting grounds and actually making so that the creature he was going after was getting away from him. The party found him after they had found his dog, who he had tied up in a sort of small ambush so he could speak to the party without them doing anything rash. He guided the party back to Outpost Pomoria safely before continuing his hunt upon the creature he was hunting. The party came back in Outpost Pomoria, and that's where the episode will pick up. Sorry for this inconvenience, and hopefully it will never happen again. So, as you all have just been brought back to Pomoria Outpost by the tiefling hunter known as Trickery.
Tabaxi.
Sorry, right, Tabaxi. He left back into the woods.
Interesting.
And left you to your devices, where George was scolding Zira about how to introduce themselves to people, mainly marking that you shouldn't be pulling out dead bodies from your backpack.
Probably not. That's probably not a good idea, a good way to introduce yourself.
So.
Yeah, some people don't have a great opinion about it. I think I feel the same way you do, Zira, but other people don't.
Oh yeah, so when somebody comes around, hey, this is dead baby I got. It's like, okay, that's normal.
Yeah, why don't show it? But I know why, because we don't want to involve everyone. Yeah.
Not only
Not
that,
the
it's
only
kind of
reason.
weird to show people that.
I think there's more reasons behind that.
So.
Also, but
As you all eventually one by one return and come back to the outpost, what do you guys wish to do? Okay.
Sneeze.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ugh, it's been...
Did you
Russia.
violently sneeze? Because if you did violently sneeze, I of course fell off.
I mean, it was pretty violent.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh no, that's another one.
that is my. I don't know. I don't know if he noticed, but instead of messaging him privately, I accidentally kicked him out. There he is. So this is a little awkward.
Fuck.
Instead of messaging you privately, I accidentally just threw you out of the call. Could you move? Could you sit a little bit more to your left?
To my left.
Sorry, to your right. A little more.
Well, this
Or
is-
you can move your camera a little bit. Otherwise, okay, okay. You're sitting in the middle of your. There we go. Now you're not your half face cut off. You can move back a little bit to your left now. So sit right in front of your microphone.
Okay. Yeah. No. I was sitting in the middle of
Aye.
the shot, but
No, you're good now. You're sitting in the middle of the shot again. So
I was like, what the?
yeah, don't worry about it.
Why am I
So
suddenly here?
all fuckery aside, Jesus Christ, you all return to Pomoria Outpost. Richer, but it is a little later than midnight-ish, if you would have to guess.
Mhm.
Most of you are tired, beaten and broken. Elkian is nowhere to be found. The tavern is currently only being run by Kelric, the older wood elven gentleman. The only individuals you saw out are some of the Pomoria Guard. Most of the other explorers and adventurers who rest out in the tents within the outpost, who brought their own accommodations, are currently asleep. What do all of you wish to do?
Yeah. What I wanted to say. We should probably read that book before we give it to anyone.
Why?
Give me,
Actually, that makes sense.
Free.
Just to be sure.
I imagine Angie would also like to take a look at it.
I'd
Yeah,
imagine.
Angie, would you like to take a look at it?
Angie seems to be indifferent about it. It's up to you.
Oh yeah, of course.
Let me look at it.
Well,
You have 4 books, by the way. 3 books of currently an unknown nature because you haven't read through them all.
let's
and-
just. No, go ahead.
And one of which, sorry. And one of which is an arcane-ish book, which you guess to be the spell book itself. Which has been told that if you do not practice the arcane in a studious manner, aka are a wizard, you can probably not read it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to grab one of the other books and see through if I can see anything
Alright.
that notices me.
I would
Well,
say,
let's have a drink.
as you all kind of sit down at the table, Elkian having provide accommodation and food for the time that you work for him, Kelric comes and brings over drinks for all of you.
Nice.
Sets it down to everybody, kind of goes, "You all don't look too well at the moment. I'll make some food."
Thank you.
That
I
is-
almost
that's-
died.
That's
That'd be
nice.
appreciated.
Kinda just wanted to get drunk and go to sleep.
I can do that as well. That is much easier, but it's up to you.
Yeah, no, I got no appetite.
I'd
Probably
like some.
barf it out.
He goes back into the kitchen, fires
I'll get
fires
some
up the oven for those who wish to eat.
Yes, please.
You all have some time at the tavern. You wish to look at the books. So, the wizard book, as none of you are wizards or seem to aspire to want to reach into that front, I would say if you have an proficiency in Arcana, you can roll to kind of find out what it's about.
Oh,
But you
I
have to
don't
have
have-
proficiency in Arcana.
Yes, I do.
You have proficiency in Arcana?
Yes, I do.
Very well. Let's see. Yeah, Angie also does not have that. So Zira can take a look at the wizard book, which I assume you do. The rest of you take a look at the other books. The rest of you notice that the book is written in Common, but in a version of Common, not the Common tongue. Many of the countries around these lands speak their own version of the Common tongue if their race does not speak a specific language. For example, Elven speak Elvish and Common, but people from Genova, for example, speak Genovan and the regular Common tongue. Mornadale is the exception, where everybody speaks the Common tongue. This seems to be a language that is unknown to any of you, not even recognizable, but with a good deal of investigation and time and deciphering, you might be able to learn the basics of what it's about. It does not seem to be pertaining a whole lot of images, except for a couple of pretty well detailed biological dissectments of human bodies.
Kind of weird.
That's like like what you find in a biology book, really.
I mean,
Specify which species?
how common is anatomy research?
You do not know. Sorry, how common is what?
This kind of research. I don't think I know.
Go ahead and
but-
roll a history check. You as an archaeologist might have some of these seen come by, but how common they are depends on how well you remember from your past.
By the way, would I, from a medicine background,
Yes.
have would it be familiar? Would it be more in that region, or is it alien to me?
The languages are alien to you.
Yeah,
Your
but the
medicine background could aid you, if you're proficient in medicine, could aid you in deciphering this text, which will take some time.
Well-
Seeing at the human data section, you see that some of the like innards of a human are drawn out, and they like have a line to them and their name, which you recognize. Oh, that's the lungs, but there's a different word for that, written in common, but in a language you don't understand. In the common script, at least. Which could give you a quicker ease of figuring out what it's about.
But would I be able to determine from the pictures if it would be more medicine related?
Go ahead and roll a medicine or investigation check. Up to you.
I rolled history, by the way.
Yes. What is
The 12.
12? To your knowledge, you have heard of some ancient tomes sometimes come back from times from long ago, written in completely different languages, in alternate versions of common. It's not uncommon for these to be recovered. The state in which you have recovered these is pretty decent, though nothing to flaunt about. They occur sometimes. Sometimes it is studious knowledge of the arcane mysteries of the past. Sometimes it's Twilight, fan fiction. You're not 100% sure. George.
21.
21. Reading through this, most of what is in here, looking at the pictures and subsequent instructions that it gives, or that it points out to give, it is of a medical nature, though not of a healing nature. It does do with the restoration of the human body, but not healing.
Odd.
Zira, go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
Yes. Well, that's a 12.
12. You recognize some of the very, very, very beginnings of the book to be very easy, and though you won't know how to copy them in any way, you determine that most of the spells here have some sense of transmutation and a very few conjuration spells. Later in the book, it switches to a different school of magic, which you do not recognize. But in the early life of this wizard, he used to be focusing on conjuration and transmutation, and later switched over to some other type of magic.
Definitely necromancy if I can,
You
go
can
from what I've seen.
you can certainly guess that,
Tower.
but though you can certainly guess that, but you have nothing to back that up with.
Okay.
Except the baby.
Except the baby.
Except the baby.
So,
And all the skeletons and plus him being undead.
It's a mystery. It's could be.
We can't know for sure.
alright. So, what would you like to? What would you guys like to do? Now having figured most of this out, it's a little later. You're tired.
Slam
You've
down
drunk.
a drink and sleep.
Very well.
Drink profusely.
Yeah.
Like,
Drinking
Hey.
competition.
You want to do a drinking competition? We totally can.
Yes, of course.
All that.
Let's go.
oh, are we up for that still? I feel like I've already. It's on the tab of the other guy. I've already been drinking so much.
Ah, come, George.
I'll
Well,
just
fun.
take the books and my dinner and go upstairs to do things with to do research, which I heard I can't just show anyone, so I'm gonna go upstairs so no one has to see
Alright.
it.
As the three of you order additional drinks, George a little woozy already. Zira takes her leaves, takes the books, stuffs them all in the backpack, and gets upstairs.
What's my
It's your backpack anyway.
The backpack's like a big.
Because there's a giant head in it.
There's a
are
head in
several
it.
books in
There's there's a whole toss of rope in there. There's a bunch of stuff in there.
Baby's body.
A baby's body. Yeah, the opening, like, it can fold
Okay.
open slightly to grant for bigger access, but besides that, it kind of fits just on a small kobold's back. But drinking competition. As you guys snap over Kelric, Kelric comes up and puts the drinks out in front of you, and he goes, "You are aware that it is 3 in the morning, right?"
Will be fine.
Nope.
As long as the
Thanks
tap
for
keeps
telling
running.
us.
He puts the tankards down, one in each of you, and already starts pouring the next ones. The very, very, very few, like 2 or 3 other patrons, one of which is still knocked out in the bar, kind of like turn an eye at the heavy slam. One of them kind of goes, "Oh," as there was a sudden loud noise in the tavern. With that, I would like for all of you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Does this count towards poison?
Yeah, I
Alcohol
wanted to ask that.
poisoning.
Yes, I would say it does. In a way, it does. Yes,
Yes, it's alcohol.
because this does not infect you as if this was dwarven alcohol, you would not have this privilege. But because it's elven alcohol, which is a little different, you guys have an edge over the lightweight halfling that you're drinking with.
It's probably much weaker than dwarven alcohol.
So, go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll for Constitution saving throw. Top of the round. George, what'd you get?
23.
23. Utsil, what did you get?
Oh wait, I can roll twice.
Yes, you can.
19.
19. Bree, what did you get?
Also a 19.
19. Very well. With that, because we have a tie, there is no failures. You all slam it down. George is already a little deeper into the drinking, and it doesn't seem to infect him as much, as that was just a lot of alcohol for the both of you. Galric kind of scoops all the tankards from the table, plops them in front of you. Let's see how long you can keep going.
Oh, holy Lord, guide me.
Go ahead. Guidance only works on skill checks, I'm afraid.
Does it?
But you can certainly cast Bless on yourself if you have a spell slot left.
No, I don't.
Bless will work for attack rolls and saving throws, but guidance is only skill checks, I'm afraid.
It's a
You will
good
We
go
thing
don't
I
need any guidance.
for
I
that.
don't participate.
Unless you have resistance, because resistance gives you a d4 on saving throws.
No.
Alright, very well. I would like for all of you, once again, to roll a Constitution saving throw against this poison.
I guess mending on my liver.
I mean, we're both resistant.
That's gonna need a greater restoration, buddy.
We're both resistant to poison damage, so.
Oh no.
That's why I have advantage.
Mhm.
Hey, George, what did you get?
19.
19 for George. Bree, what did you get?
A 10.
10. And Utsil, what did you get?
16.
16. Okay, the dwarves clunk it down. 2 tankards, one a little quicker than the other, gets slammed on the table. But you see the halfling kind of 2 hands on the pint, just slam it down. Take a deep breath.
Come on.
All the tankards are taken off the table. Bree, you have suffered 1 failure. The first one with 3 failures loses, and the last one to keep standing wins.
Yes.
Alright. Once again, all of you roll a Constitution saving throw. As another 3 tankards are being filled and emptied by you, you see Kelric kind of quickly dash between the barrel and you. At one point, he kind of like calls over one of the guards from outside, and he comes rolling in with a new barrel. George, what did you get?
At 13.
13. Bree, what did you get?
8.
8. And Utsil, what did you get?
A 13 as well.
I'm going
13
lower.
as well. As Bree is
Are you
still
good?
all the way at the bottom, she still racks up her second failure, as neither of you has been at the bottom so far. You see Bree kind of like
Wow.
doze off for a moment, and another tanker gets slammed. Right, this is what we're doing. Go ahead, roll again.
Oh, I'm afraid right now.
You started the drinking competition with doors, which is a bad idea.
It is.
It is.
But it's
Hey.
still
Very
fun
much
though.
is.
I'm very
18.
thankful I didn't
18 for
participate.
George. Bree, what did you get?
18.
18 for Bree. Very well. Utsil, what did you get?
19.
19. Alright, as we have two people equal on the lowest amount. There's no failure this round, but Utsil seems to be getting in it. Bree is kind of like getting used to the alcohol. She's severely drunk at the moment, but she's kind of like getting into it. And for a moment, she surprises you with how well she holds herself up. But as another tankard gets slammed down, and all of you begin to drink, roll again.
Oh.
Hey, George, what did you get?
17.
17 for George. Bree,
14.
how much?
14.
14. And Utsil?
9.
9. Ooh, you see,
Yeah,
Bree
rolled a
seems
4 and a natural 1.
Bree seems to not really be taking it that hard, but George, you're going, and this is normal for you. Drinking is a daily occurrence as long as you're in Coppermunda. Utsil, on the other hand, spends a little bit more day out on the road and exploring dungeons and such, and has not really been living 24/7 in that Coppermunda lifestyle, and he seems to become a little drowsy, and you can actually notice that he is getting drunk.
Shall we continue, lads? I mean, both of you seem to be a little drowsy. Can we do anything tomorrow?
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to continue?
Yeah.
Very well. All of you, roll again.
Yeah, nice. Hi, Angie. I'm a bit drunk.
Aye.
Oh god. I'm gonna die.
George, what did you get?
23.
23 for George. Bree, what did you get? Bree, what did you get?
9.
9 for Bree. Utsil, what did you get?
A 10.
10.
Oh!
With that, Bree at a 9, the first one to rack up 3 failures, the first one that drinks the tankard, and with bending back, at one point the drink just starts pouring down the face and over the coat onto the ground as the halfling just swivels off her bar stool and falls about a foot to the ground, completely unconscious.
There she goes.
Oh, that is actually bad. I think.
The two of you are still sitting upright. Utsil severely more drunk than George.
Is Zero or Angie still here?
Zira is gone, but Angie is kind of like standing at a distance, been watching most of this display, kind of keeping a distance from the table that is now drenched in drink.
Angie, can you be a sweetheart? Can you make sure bring it off the ground? Yeah.
Yeah, she needs up to bed.
Yeah, she's gonna have a bad night.
As the challenger of this drinking contest has fallen, do the other competitors stop or do they continue?
Well, let's go. Let's keep going then.
Are you sure, Utsil? I mean, one
leave.
blackout drunk is enough, don't you think?
George is afraid of losing.
You're just afraid.
Alright, we'll do 3 more.
Alright, go for it.
Man.
Both of you, roll Constitution saving throws.
F.
Hey, George, what'd you get?
10.
Utsil, what'd you get?
24.
Ooh, this time the drink catches up with George and they seem to be on an equal level of drunk. He's no longer his clear-minded self. The amount that you have consumed this evening astounds Kelric, as he kind of like seems concerned for his stock. But nonetheless, next drink is set on the table and you're allowed to drink. Go for it. Hey. George, what did you get?
20.
20. Utsil, what did you get?
24.
24. Oof. George, being overconfident, keeps drinking and drinking, but seems to swivel in his chair at the moment. Not staying up all right completely. Utsil, you feel pretty good about your chances. You're not sure if that's the booze talking or yourself, but you feel pretty good nonetheless.
This is the last one.
You feeling alright there, George?
Are you?
I'm fine.
Alright,
Never been better.
go for it for a final round. Both of you go ahead and drink.
Nice.
Alright. George, what did you get?
19.
19? Utsul, what did you get?
A 24 again.
24 again.
And
With
the other
that,
one was a 21, so.
with that, George, you and as the last bit of ale just disappears in the thickness of your beard, Utsul, you slam the drink down on the table, and as you slam, you hear the heavy metal clanking of a full armored dwarf that hits the ground next to you, also completely KO. You have won it, and the only one to see is Angie and Kellrick.
Let's go! Wait. I look at George, just. He's completely knocked out. Right?
He's gone. He's out.
Yeah, I only rolled a 20 and a 19.
Dang.
Draw something on his face!
No, I'll hoist him up. Try to hoist him over on my shoulder and try to move him to our room.
Aye.
Well, was fun.
As the night
Thanks,
of
Mikey.
drinking comes to an end, Angie drags Bree up to her room. As Utsul does the same. You all find yourselves to sleep. George and Bree. I would like
Yeah.
for both of you to roll a single Constitution saving throw. Simply a straight roll this time. For both of you.
Great roll, so no
Yes.
modifiers.
No,
Natural.
you Constitution saving throw, but George doesn't get advantage.
Okay. 16.
16. Aye. You all go to bed, have a night's rest. The next morning, you all wake up. 3 of you, pretty hungover. But George, you are impressed with what Utsil did last night, because you think he kind of kept up. Everything got kind of blurry after that, but your hangover is so severe, because of a natural one, you suffer 1 level for exhaustion for the day. Bree, with a 16, you easily avoid the severeness, as you have drunk way less than your counterpart.
Just as I before.
But as you all finished up your long rest, you all level up to level 3. So, with that, I would like for everybody to roll for their hit points, as I'm pretty sure most of you have already figured out what you want to do. So go ahead and roll for your hit points.
Yes.
I assume nobody's really multi-classing at this point, so it will just be the hit die you use from your class. Angie, are you here? Because you're still on mute.
Wait. Yes,
There
I
you go.
am.
Alright.
For now.
Everybody go ahead and roll for hit dice.
Okay, if I take the average,
Good and worse.
Nope. You gotta roll.
I gotta roll. Okay.
You gotta roll. That's how
too
we do
bad.
it. That's how we roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I see 5, 5, and 5. Jeez,
Ooh.
it's super confusing. There's 2 Elrics.
Yeah,
There's
I don't know
Elric-
how to change.
Yeah, but one's a
Why did you
D12 and the
not
other's a D8. So,
Yeah.
George, what did you get?
5.
And with your Constitution modifier, that would say
9.
9 for a total of your new hit points.
33.
33 hit points. Very well. Bree, what did you get?
I got an 8 on a D8.
Hey,
so
you
I
should,
rolled pretty well.
should be happy you didn't take that average. 8 plus your Constitution modifier of...
It's +1.
So that's 9 hit points to you as well, for a total of, I'm pretty sure, 27 hit
27.
points. Very well.
Yeah.
See, Angie, you rolled a 5 on a
5.
D6, which is pretty decent. plus your constitution of +4 brings you to 9 for a total of 29 hit points.
Indeed.
Hey. Utsil, you rolled a 5 on your d12. Plus your constitution fund modifier of +3, if I'm correct.
Yes, that's 8, so I have 40 hit points now.
40 hit points. You also get... no, you have 41 hit points because you're a hill dwarf.
True.
You get +1 on every level up. And last but not least, Zira, you rolled a 5 on your d8. A lot of 5s have been rolled. Bringing you with a 5 + 4 for a 9 from your 22 hit points to 31 hit points.
Or I thought it was +3.
I'm pretty sure you have an 18 constitution, do you not?
I have a 16 in Constitution.
Never mind, then it's a +3.
I have 18 in Intelligence.
My apologies. Then in that case, you don't get as much. You get 1 less.
Yeah.
5 + 3 is 8 plus your 22 hit points brings you to a total of 30.
Yeah. I can't believe I have so much hit points.
Some of you gain additional spells, which I hope you have already figured out.
Yeah, I
Those
did.
2 of you who have to choose spells, which spells have you chosen? If we might know.
Yes.
Angie, which ones did you use? Do you know?
I have Flame Blade,
Flame Blade, very well.
2nd level.
And Bree?
I go with Shatter.
You go with Shatter.
Yes.
Very well. Most of you get 2nd level spell slots at this point. Bree, you also choose a subclass. I'm pretty sure you chose Bard, College of Eloquence.
Yes, that's true.
And we have Utsil, who got Barbarian Totem Warrior of the Bear, right?
Yep. The first level was the bear.
Right. And we have Artificer Alchemist, if I am not mistaken.
Yeah. No, I'm not a subclass kobold as everyone hoped I would be.
So now, with the Divine Sorcerer and the Forge Cleric, everybody has their subclasses. So, as you all wake up the next morning, a little more haggard than before, especially George. You all wake up and reconvene, and that's where we're going to be. Even though we took a larger break because of all the audio failures, we're going to take a short, I would say 5 to 10 minute break for everybody to go to the bathroom and grab a drink, nonetheless, because I feel like we need to pause anyway. And we will be back in just about 5 to 10 minutes. And welcome back, everybody. We took a short break there. I'm not 100% sure if Twitch fixed itself. I sure hope it did. Because I saw there was a lot of buffering. I think it might have something to do with the media source that we're streaming to you, but I'm not 100% sure on that yet. But besides that, everybody just leveled up to level 3. Sadly enough, Angie's internet died once again, so we had lost her while she was still choosing her meta magic options. Everybody rolled a 5 on their healing thingies, except for or on their HP, except for Bree, who rolled an 8. So, with that, you all wake up the next morning in your rooms in the Green Coin Inn in Pomoria Outpost. You already start smelling the fresh food from downstairs. Some of you with a slight headache. You all get up, get to breakfast, where you once again meet with your employer, Alkian. You all sit at the table, and as you all are having breakfast together, he speaks out to all of you, going, "So, have you all managed to find anything of interest? Anything that I might be willing to pay for?"
I have found something of interest to me, but but I have been told I can't just show it anymore.
Right. I was specifically inquiring about books. Possibly.
Well, we found
You found a couple of
this
books.
one, and I pull out a regular book.
Alright.
We found this one, and this one, and I pull out another regular book. But I have not yet seen them. Or
You
looked
are
inside
holding-
of them.
Right. Well, if you do not mind, I would gladly take those from you for 50 gold each.
Here.
You shove 2 of the regular books at him. He retrieves and starts counting out 2 small piles of 50 gold pieces. He shoves them forward towards the group, so you may divide those equally amongst yourselves. Which is 100 gold divided by 5, meaning everybody gets 20 gold. Unless more books are turned in.
That's something I have not yet decided on, because of course we know which one I get, but also the biology, because I want to discuss that with the group, but not in his presence.
Right. In that case, you all have breakfast, and at one point, Alkien does speak up. He goes, I suggest, noticing from what happened yesterday, how I've heard you have returned, and the subsequent events that followed, that you all take a day off before continuing on to your next quest.
That's probably a good idea, yeah.
That sounds like an amazing idea. Don't come into the room though.
Right. Bree and Angie, I have asked around about the person of the description you had given me.
Yes.
And I have found out that a person of that description has been in the outpost, but has also left it into a westward direction into the jungle. He didn't seem too well prepared, and most of the people that had seen him expect him to either be dead or return soon. He seemed to have left a couple of days before your arrival.
Well, shouldn't he be back by now then?
Possibly. That is as much as I've heard. I know that he has been here and has gone into a westward direction. He has, as far as I have been able to find, not yet returned.
Okay.
Utsil, I have spoken with some of the other adventurers and explorers around this camp, and there was one that recognized a gnome by the name of Kieran. This person had worked with him once, about 15 years ago. They traveled deep into the western side of the old woods until they ran into a massive canyon that led a wide river towards the open ocean. That, when Kieran, who was protesting it apparently, the group was first forced to turn around and head back to Dorelia. According to that person, Kieran had said that he would one day return and would cross that ravine. But keep in mind, this has been 15 years ago at this point.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
And George, I was asking around about any interests in local legends about weaponry or armament, or other metalworks. And though I did not find anything that's hidden within the forest, I have spoken with a trader who trades regularly with the lizard folk communities within the jungle. And according to them, somewhere in the jungle, there's an individual who wields a battle axe made out of a strange type of metal. He had attacked the lizard folk, who were forced to move to the south side of the outpost. Kelric, who's the one who traded with them, had told me this. Lizard folk are an aggressive people and do not speak common, not regularly at least. So if you wish to interact with them, I do advise a word of caution.
Well, thanks for letting me know anyway. That sounds dangerous, though. This person with the axe, you know anything about him? Or her?
They said it was a big, monstrous individual, according to the lizard folk, which does entail
Course.
something. The metal itself seemed to be of a brighter shine and built out of... it had a strange texture to it. But again, this is second-hand information. Apart from that, Skelwork was not able to tell me much more. I am not myself very invested in the different types of metalworks, mostly only its results. So I'm afraid I do not know if that is something that you wish to pursue, but it is out there.
Would the description sound familiar?
It seems to be a brighter metal with a strange texture. The texture could be always given to either wear or just design, apart from actual metal. Shining brighter could allude to a couple of different materials, including, but not limited to, a Jethruin weapon or mithril. Some adamantine weapons seem to have been built with a natural glow to them as well. Most of them being aligned with some type of silver. The silver weapons on their own can have an additional glow to it compared to regular metal, so it doesn't really narrow it down that much.
Alright.
So,
Oh, thank you.
Elkian once again points out to the map you have, Utsil, and asks, "Do you mind displaying it?" As you roll it out and you put it out in front, he kind of takes a small pencil, kind of crosses out the fallen tower, and moves over to the small ruin. He goes, "For tomorrow, this would be your next goal. Hopefully, if you wish to return. I don't know if you wish to return after what happened yesterday. If you do, this building that was stood here once was the mansion that was owned by presumably some mage or arcanist. It is said that the underground area below it has been a reinforced arcane laboratory of some sort. In it is said that foul sorcery was conducted, but again, that is local superstition of elves, Yuan-Ti, and other such folk. If there's any truth to this, I do not know. You might very well walk in there and find nothing. But it seemed to have been interesting nonetheless to check out. You have the map, you know how to get there. Again, any books that you return to me of interest, general interest, I'll pay 50 gold for. Any books that are specifically spell books, I will pay 1,000 gold pieces for.
Okay, sounds fun.
With that, he nods, he gets up, he goes, "I have some business to get to. Enjoy your day off, and good luck on your next journey."
Okay, bye. Don't come into the room.
I sleep there.
Don't come in there in the day. I'm busy.
Right. And he leaves, leaving the 5 of you, and your little absent, at the table.
Well,
you
okay.
know that they keep saying that, you know that, right? But yeah.
Come into my room. And I go to my room.
Why didn't we just give them the arcane book?
I don't know. Who had it?
Zero headed.
Zira has
And
all the
she-
books. She turned in 2 of the books, 2 of the biology books, which you have been
Zira.
paid for.
That's weird. But she
Zilla?
left for a room.
Yeah, well, I'll go to the room.
Right? I assume you
Yo.
all kind of go and reconvene at the room.
In my room where I have displayed the baby body with the 2 books open. Studying it.
Zira, come on. We're gonna give away the book after today, in the evening, okay?
Okay, I'm busy. Go away. Don't come in.
Why can't we come in?
Just don't.
What are you gonna do?
Well, they
Well-
can try to come in and see me, you know, dissecting a baby body.
Do you guys go in?
Well, yeah. Already
Hey.
implied I kind of did.
Yeah, you kind of walk in, just poof, and there you see Zira with the baby body laid out in front of her, and one of the books beside it. It's got a small knife in hand.
Oh no. Zira. Just grabs the book and lay it away like a good distance so it doesn't get dirty. What are you doing?
I told you not to come in.
Well, you have kind of like 1,000 gold next to you right now.
Study now. Go away.
Alright. How about I give you a little hand? And I mean that in the form of a guidance and I'm not gonna sit here and help you. And the end of this is this. Let's say the end of the afternoon, right? When the sun starts getting Let's say when the sun starts setting, we give him the book.
Okay, fine. Now leave me be. I'm busy.
Alright.
You're wasting precious study time.
Guidance.
Right. And giving her a bit of guidance. As you all leave the room. Zira, what do you wish to do? What do you want to do? In this day?
I'm studying the body and comparing what I find to the book to see if it's talking about the same creature or species.
Okay. Go ahead and roll either medicine, nature, or investigation.
Well, I have proficiency in just one of them, so investigation it is.
Go for it.
That's a 15.
Okay. Let me check something real quick. Spending most of the afternoon comparing the drawings within the book to
What
the
did
creature,
guidance do again?
add a
You gain
d4.
Oh, let me add that one.
Go for it.
Oh, wait. 18.
18. Very well. Using the rest of the afternoon, you eventually do find out, though you do not decipher the text, that the entirety of the book is centered around a single humanoid creature, which seems to be closely related to humans in some sort, but are in their own form. They're not humans. You're not sure what they are, but this purple-skinned baby creature is of the species the book speaks of.
Okay. Good to know.
You do not find anything out about its culture or its other abilities or what this zombified version of it is. The book does speak about them, which might cause you to want to decipher it or keep it or whatever. But it's up to you.
I'm gonna keep the regular book, but the magic one I'll give away because I promised. But I did not say anything about the normal one.
We'll see.
Of course.
For the day, let's say Bree. What do you
Yeah.
and I'll assume in addition Angie wish to do?
Yeah. I really miss my girl because I want to talk with her about these things. But yeah, now I have to make decisions for us. Well,
After all.
I guess we can. We don't know where that person is,
Mm-hmm.
but we know it is in the jungle or it might return to us. So yeah. Do we have any other things that can help us find this person except for the way he looks?
Unless you have some sort of magic to track him. You have basically, by revealing the information to Alkian, he has basically done some of the work for you, giving you a vague direction of where he might have traveled, which could lead you to pick up a trail or such, though it has been a number of days, so you would probably want to have some help doing that. Possibly from an even more skilled individual. Apart from that, you've not been given much at the moment. You know it's his appearance, and that has helped you so far. But if you have an idea of what you want to do, go for it.
Well, Bree's optimistic, so let's try.
Hey, what do you want to try?
I want to try to find him. Or this person. I don't know if it's a he. I don't really care. I want to go to the direction that was pointed at with Angie.
Mm-hmm.
And see if we can pick up any trails.
Hi. The two of you, not super experienced trackers, but are working together to see if you can find any clue indicating that this specific individual traveled westward a couple days ago. Go ahead and roll a survival check. I will say with advantage. What is your wisdom modifier?
My wisdom is 0.
0. Okay, that's still better than Angie's. So go ahead and roll a survival check.
Def.
With
With
advantage, you said, right?
Yes, with advantage.
For real, I rolled twice the same number.
Look at that. Angie has
Angie!
returned.
I rolled a 6.
Alright.
Wow.
Angie.
Yes.
Alright. Elkian has told you today that after asking around, a person of the description that you and Bree had given to him has been seen in Pomoria Outpost, but a couple of days ago he was seen frantically and unprepared leaving the outpost, traveling into a westward direction into the jungle. Most people there expect him to either be dead or to be returning soon. Bree and you have taken some time today to try and see if you can pick up any sort of track of him. But sadly enough, Bree has rolled 2 6s. With advantage from you helping. Which means that you do not manage to find any sort of... You find a couple tracks, as they kind of, like, you guys have left westward a couple times as well. If you want to track a very specific individual in this direction, you would need a better tracker to do so.
The Baxu you've met before, because he's a hunter.
Maybe I can help.
Maybe
Yeah.
you feel.
But no.
But Bree, you said you wanted to talk to Angie, so she's back. You have the ability to do so now.
What are we gonna do?
Well,
Because we can't find any tracks here. All we know is what this person looks like and that he was in this neighborhood and that he is most likely dead or will return. But should we wait for his return or should we try to find him? Because I was a little optimistic to think we could, but so far it hasn't gone that well.
maybe we should wait for a little bit. And if he does not return, we should ask one of our other companions. Maybe they can help. That's maybe an option.
It's sad, but okay. Well, then we should go back to the outpost, I think.
I think we should. I don't really think we can find him anymore now. It hasn't been going that well.
Bree and Angie, as you both have suggested in various manner, you can try this meaning of trying to locate this individual once again. If you have, you can use either one of your party members or another tracker. There are multiple adventurers and such individuals within the outpost you could ask and possibly hire. Angie, as you said, the tabaxi you had found before, if you could somehow manage to contact him again, that would be an option. That could lead you to follow this specific way of locating him once again, but the two of you seem unable to do so for the day. I would say that only takes you about half the day, so if you have another thing you want to do today, or you maybe just want to relax, or maybe practice a skill or anything, you can do so for the remainder of the day.
Well, I want to try to create something out of a new large piece of wood because I like tinkering.
Yeah.
So maybe do that a little and work on that with my dagger to make it a bit precise. But I'm still not satisfied at the end of the day because it has to be perfect, and one day is a little less time.
You say you want to tinker something.
Yeah.
Do you have tinker's tools on you?
Do I have that? I think so.
Good question. I don't know.
Good question.
Question. I don't know if I have. Do I?
Does it say in your inventory that you have tinker's tools?
Let me check that.
Don't confuse proficiency with tools.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that before too.
We all.
Yes, if I have that from Guild Artisan Tinker, then I have Tinker tools.
Do you get it from
If
your
we
background?
Yeah, I got it from my
I think
background.
so.
Guild. Wait, which background do you specifically have? Guild.
Guild Artisan and then Tinker. It's a guild business.
Yeah. Let's see. Guild Artisan. Variants. Oh, bye,
There
Angie.
she went again.
Let's see.
Oh, she goes again.
You have Tinkerers. And let me see what kind of equipment it gives you. Let's see. Equipment, a set of artisan's tools, one of your choice, a letter of introduction from your guild, a set of service clothes, some gold. So if you choose for that particular artisan's tools to be Tinker's tools, yes, you have Tinker's tools on you at the moment. What do you wish to make with Tinker's tools? It can be a very small thing. A wood there's wood aplenty.
Yeah.
You cannot really do woodworking, so you can't craft something large out of wood. You can tinker a small thingy if you wish. Small mechanical. Tinkers I mostly see as like mechanical things. So some sort of small wooden mechanical structure you could try and make. Unless you had a specific thing in mind, then go ahead and tell me. What did you want to make?
Well, I'm just thinking about it, and I like to make a flute I can point open. So it has a little mechanism, and I can unlock it to make it a bit longer.
To make the flute longer?
Yeah. I don't have a flute yet, so I can make that, and then I can make it longer.
Alright. I would say for the remaining of the half day, go ahead and roll a check with your tinker's tools.
Okay. I can use my proficiency for that, right?
Yes, because you are proficient.
Well, it's an 8. My god!
You, at the moment, have not yet... You start working on a piece of wood, and you start digging through it, and at one point you notice the core of it is rotten. And eventually, you end up wasting your second half of the day, not managing to complete or even begin a start on this item. Sadly enough, because it's only half a day, you don't get to try again. But
yeah,
there you go.
That's also a bit of my flaw.
Very well.
I know. We'll try that again.
Utsil. Oh, sorry, Angie's here again. We'll wait for a moment. Hello, Angie, because then we can wrap up their half day as well. Angie, can you hear us?
Can
That is a mess.
you hear me?
Very vaguely.
Almost.
Sounded like a robot.
Could you please leave the call and come back, maybe? Because I have the feeling that you can hear us better than the other way around. In the meantime, Utsil, what would you like to do with your free day?
Well, since I'm a totem barbarian,
Yes.
I would need to find a totem of acquire or make a totem of the bear.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not quite sure how or what I would do with that, since I don't possess the skills to make that.
Well, I would say it like this. You have fought in fighting rings. A barbarian style individual isn't too uncommon to find there. In the time that you have fought in these nasty rings, you have encountered individuals who carried certain types of totems with them. Eventually, you have learned of this skill that some crafted totems can give you aid from natural spirits in your fighting abilities. But these totems need to be crafted or found by someone to really get the full connection.
Mm-hmm.
What you can do, if you're looking for something like that, there are individuals here that are groups of adventurers that travel with another burly man of the same type of individual. You could ask to buy one. You can ask somebody in the region to make one. Or you can go ahead and try and look for one in the nearby vicinity. I would say those are your three options of acquiring it, unless you wish to try and make it. But you would have to get woodcarver's tools, a sufficient piece of wood, and roll high enough, sadly enough with disadvantage because you're not proficient, and try and get I would say a DC of 13.
I'll probably ask someone else to do it.
Okay. I would say if you want to have... You eventually look around. finding a small group of tabaxi that normally live in the old woods. They have come for the day to trade with the people of Pomoria. You inquire about these totems, and though they themselves are not too familiar with them, they do have the ability to carve these. Asking exactly what you want, you can spend, I would say, 5 gold pieces to have the totem of your desire crafted for you, handmade by one of these tabaxi.
That sounds fun. I'll do that. Thank you very kindly.
So you spend a day with the tabaxi. You spend 5 gold pieces, but eventually you end up with what they claim to be a nature spirit imbued totem that you can now carry around with you.
Cool.
Angie, now that you're back, you have half a day left. In the first half of the day, you tried to find the person, you failed. Bree took off and tried to carve a flute for herself. You, on the other hand, have half a day left of something to do. If you wish to practice any type of skill, or maybe try to make something, maybe you just relax, maybe you're looking for a good time. I don't know what you want to do. What do you want to do? You have half a day.
I
You can also do nothing if you really
relax
Alright.
half a day.
You take this day to take a long bath because you need it, and kind of even in this outpost at the edge of the world, get a semblance of the life that you're used to back home. But you just have a glorious spa day, making sure that Elkian Stap runs up and up and up and up. Very well. I would say they at one point come with an offer. The UNTU worker that works within the tavern and helps Kelric and his wife out, proposes to you to a medicinal massage done by her people, which imbues the one that took part in it with some additional vigorance or additional resilience. Basically offering you for the cost of 10 gold pieces, you can get a single temporary hit point for the next 24 hours. Meaning if you want to spend more than 10 gold pieces, you can stack that up to a higher number.
No, I'm good. 10 gold pieces, sure.
For 10 gold pieces, you get 1 temporary hit point. If you do 20 gold pieces, you get 2 temporary hit points. Skills up like that, if you wish to buy more. I would say, no, let me retcon that. I would say it's 1 temporary hit point per 3 gold pieces, up to 10 temporary hit points.
No, just 10, for 1 temporary hit point.
No, I was retconning it. You can get, for 3 gold pieces, you can get 1 temporary hit point.
Sure.
Alright. You want to just have 1, or do you want to have multiple? Just 1.
Just 1.
Very well. You spend 3 gold pieces. You have for the next 24 hours, which will last until the end of the next day, let's say. You'll have an additional temporary hit point, which is a temporary hit point which cannot be healed, but it's an extra layer of defense. Alright.
It's something.
It's something. Last but not least, George. With your free day, what do you wish to do?
Well, first of all, George just cleans all this stuff, and then he would like to spend an hour or two with 8 gold, smelt them down, and craft themselves some carpenter tools
Very well.
using my, what's it called? Channel Divinity.
Alright.
Artisan's Blessing.
So you spent 8 gold pieces.
And uses the literal metal to create the tools.
Alright, which tools are you creating?
Carpenter tools.
Carpenter's tools. Very well.
So I got those.
Do you have proficiency with them? Or do you automatically get proficiency with them? Or
No,
how does that work?
I already have that.
Very well.
Just didn't have the tools.
Well, now you
Now
do.
I do.
Anything else?
Besides just the cleaning and all that, you know, if nobody is, you know, would go around and ask if anyone needs a bit of help. You know, can cast some spells here and there.
Alright.
But other than that, if nobody is in need of it, he's lying down.
Okay. As you are kind of staying at the outpost for the day, you do see some, and especially near the end of the day, a couple of adventurers come back much worse for wear. Who would, I would say, for the remainder of this day, be willing to spend 5 gold pieces per spell slot level for healing. Depending on how much you're willing to, how much of your
How
magic
many
you're
are
willing to
there?
show. I would say, because you're not that high level, you could spend all of your spell slots, your second level and your first levels.
Well, I have a spell called Prayer of Healing, which can
Mhm.
target up to 6 creatures for 2d8 healing. Can cast that twice, so
For the balancing of this, it is per spell level. So
yeah, so it's a second level spell.
it's a second level spell that no matter what spell you cast, it's more like you giving up a spell slot and you get money for it. For a second level spell slot, you can get 10 gold. For a first level spell slot, you can get 5 gold.
I mean, I'd be willing to cast, 2 of these. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
I'm always willing to help out fellow adventurers.
Very well. You use both of your second level spell slots for the day, and in return, you gain 20 gold.
Not the work I'm used to, but gold's gold.
Because of this, especially with there is some reputation. There's not reputation. People, other adventurers, and the guard, and some of the other people that remain in the outpost take note of your capabilities. Though not all of them immediately inquire about it, it is probably within a day a known fact amongst the person who currently resides within Camp Pomoria that you can do that stuff. Possibly leading to further future endeavors. So, at the end of the day, you all reconvene together in the tavern. Zira finished with her
Studies.
You all reunite with Elkian, willing to give back not the final book, but the wizard's book. The 5 of you, before Elkian arrives, sit at the table and may discuss this, as you wish.
Zera,
Yes, as promised. Here, you can give him the book.
thank you. And of course everyone will get their share, right? I mean, don't you like gold, Zera? I mean,
Well, it's okay, I guess, but it's not as good as knowledge.
Well, that might be so, but
depends what kind of knowledge I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Did you learn a lot, Zira?
Oh, from that book, no, nothing. I knew a guy who went to like this school and then switched schools. And I'm guessing it can be necromancy from what we've seen in the tower, but I can't be sure.
Well, then let's not meddle with it too long. That's only bad.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Plus, we decided to agree with this man that we would indeed give him some books in return for good money. So let's.
So where is this man?
A moment passes, and as dinner is finished in the kitchen and is brought out, Elkian also arrives, sits down at the table with all of you, and goes, I hope you all had a good day. Day off is not too bad every now and then.
Well, and he flops down the book in the middle of the table.
Is interesting. Let me take a look. And as he kind of shoves it towards himself, he kind of looks at all of you and goes, though I do not... I'm not angry in any way, but I've seen that a lot of drinks, excessive drinking, and other such luxuries have been ordered. My gratitude is there, but it has limits. As does my coin purse. Luckily, for something like this, and he opens up the book. For something like this, good money is always ready to be spent. And he kind of looks over through it. He kind of like goes over a couple pages, ending up in the later parts in the book. He kind of frowns for a moment before he shuts the book, lays it on its side, and he goes, very well. Reaches into his bag, brings out 5 already distributed pouches of 200 gold, hands them to each of you, as is promised. And of course,
Thanks.
if tomorrow in the Mage's Laboratory you manage to find similar books, either of just the interesting and ancient kind, like the other books you have already given me, or like this, in a spellbook form, I am willing to pay for it. Also, if you manage to find spells which are not written down in a book, but recorded on spell scrolls, and you do not wish to have them yourselves, I am willing to pay 250 gold for each spell scroll you can find me.
Quite
You
generous.
found those?
I do not know.
think so.
But just in case you do find them, I am willing to pay. He puts that book away in his satchel. All of you can add 200 gold to your inventories.
Well, to 20 because of the first 2 books.
Well, yeah. If you hadn't done that already.
Oh yeah.
Right. Elkin once again reassures that, wondering if you are actually leaving tomorrow. But I assume that you guys are planning on doing so. Unless anybody has other plans.
No, we were planning on doing that, right?
Probably.
Yeah. He once again reaffirms, if what I've heard is true, when foul sorcery was really condoned in these underground laboratories, a word of caution. Mages can be tricksy and have ways of only entering and exiting their places via their own means. So, bring an intuitive mind.
Duly noted.
He stands up, pats the satchel on his side, and takes his leave. All of you, eventually, unless anybody wishes to do anything else, find yourselves to bed.
Well, I'm gonna take a walk and not bury this body I just dissected or anything.
Make a stealth check.
16.
Alright. You go out of Primoria Outpost before the gates close, but after dark. And eventually you find a small ditch in which you quickly make a baby-sized grave, throw in the undead corpse, and bury it again. And unnoticed to anybody else, there you have gotten rid of this piece of evidence.
Don't you snitch me out, Nicho. We're in this together.
And I hurry back.
Okay. You all find yourselves to sleep and wake up the next morning well rested and ready for the day. So,
Well,
after breakfast, I assume, is there anything you wish to do to prepare? Which may or not... There are in the general goods store, there's still supplies in the general goods store, as well as if you want to stock up on any healing potions or mana potions,
Yes.
if you wish. Aye, I hear a yes.
Yes.
I'm grab
Bree
some healing.
wants.
Aye, let's do
Utsel
one by
too,
one.
I heard.
Bree, what do you wanna buy?
I want to buy one potion to regain one spell slot. If they sell that here, was it?
They do.
Were
yes.
they?
They do have the mana potions. They only for the first level spell slot. They only have 3 mana potions left.
Okay. How many for one?
Those for first level spell slot is 50 gold.
Okay. I'll buy one of them.
Okay. So you spend 50 gold, and you
Yes.
gain one additional mana potion for first level spell slot.
And I want one healing potion, regular.
A regular healing potion is also 50 gold, unless you want to have a lesser, which is 1d4, not 2d4, and that's 20 gold.
I want a regular healing potion.
Regular
So
gold.
I spent another 50 gold pieces.
Okay. 50 gold for 2d4 plus 2.
Spend the money.
Aye. Utsil.
Yeah, I'm gonna get just a normal healing potion and a lesser healing potion.
That is 50 gold for the healing potion, and 20 gold for the lesser healing potion. Alright. Anybody else want to buy anything?
Nah.
Yes, I also want a 1 mana potion and 2 healing potions, normal ones.
Alright. Do you also want to have mana potions for first level or second level?
Do first level.
So 1 potion for first level. 1 second. 1 mana potion for first level is 50 gold. And then 2 lesser healing potions, you said?
Normal healing, yeah, lesser, yeah.
2 lesser healing potions is 40 gold for 1d4 plus 1.
Okay. So that's a total of how many gold pieces?
That's a total of 90 gold pieces for you. Okay.
By the way, I
yes.
will move my Blessing of the Forge to my Warhammer.
Very well. Let's see.
I also plan out.
Sorry, Utsil, what did you buy again? Just to be 100% sure, I'm checking the gold here.
A healing potion and a lesser healing potion.
Okay, and Bree, you bought a mana potion and 2 normal healing potions, right?
1 normal healing potion.
Oh, 1 normal healing potion and 1 mana potion.
Yes.
So
So
you
I
spend...
spent 100.
Yeah, okay. I had 50 gold extra written off for you, so good that we checked.
Yeah.
Let's
It's a
see.
big difference.
Angie, you bought a mana potion as well?
Yes, and 2 healing potions.
And 2 lesser healing potions. Very well. Let's see, that brings that down to 7. Bree bought a normal healing potion, and Utsil, you bought a normal healing potion, right?
And a lesser one.
Alright. So there's 2 healing potions gone, and 1 lesser healing potion. Alright. I updated the stock. Very well. You all, with additional gear, set out on your journey with the map towards the location. I would like from you all, a marching order.
Whose shoulder am I sitting?
I'll go in the back.
I'll probably be at the front with the map.
Okay.
You can sit on my shoulder, Zira,
Aye.
if you'd like.
Where do you want to
Yes.
walk, Bree? At the front or at the back?
At the front.
The front, very well. Then we have Utsil, Bree, then we have Zira, Angie, and then we have George. Great. With that, you all start making your way into. You once again reach into the western side, out of the western side of the outpost. Instead of going north this time, you guys turn south at one point, heading into the forest. I would like for one of you to roll a d10. I think there's one person that hasn't done it yet, so who hasn't?
Me.
Aye.
I think I haven't done it at all.
Utsil, go ahead and roll a d10.
Let's go 8.
Ooh, 8.
Oh, that
fucking
doesn't sound promising.
I knew it. I knew it. It's always the case when I roll that shit.
Do we have a larger gorilla again?
We'll see. Aye.
You freaking dare, because large.
So.
I will murder you.
No. That's the gorilla task.
You lead people early in the morning, well prepared, following the map over a rather easy trail that you managed to find. Your travel speeds up, and instead of arriving at midday, you arrive at 9 or 10 a.m. in the morning. Rather early, making the chance of you getting lost in the woods at night, once again, smaller.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's great.
That's went better than expected.
You see,
Okay, well,
at one point, a large open ruin, which has been overgrown by vines. At one point in the center, there is a tree that has just burst out from the stone and grown up to the sky above. You recognize could be a mansion. It is where the map says it should be. You merely have to find the entrance.
Time to investigate.
so we we see the front of the mansion, but it's completely overgrown.
No, you see basically the floor of the mansion and some walls. It's completely ruined. There's no building to speak of, but you're looking for an underground laboratory. You do not yet know where that is.
Fair enough.
I am gonna investigate.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
I'm gonna look for an entrance.
13.
Right. I would say Angie, you go ahead and roll as well. Investigation check.
I'll help with looking for the entrance and guide you.
Alright. You can add a d4 to that, Angie.
I'll stand here and look pretty.
Great.
I'm with you.
You're doing a terrible job.
Wow. At least I'm trying.
And add a d4?
And add a d4, yes.
Yeah. Nope.
That's a D nothing.
That's not possible.
Alright. So
That's an 18.
70. Alright. Zira kind of skitters off and starts searching every small neck and cranny. Everybody kind of starts looking around for some stuff. Zero, you don't manage to find anything.
Sad.
Angie, you on the other hand, at one point find an overgrown piece of root, like a root that overgrows a what looks to be a stairway down. That might lead somewhere, but it's halfway covered by the root, meaning that most of you will not fit through it at the moment. There's just a thick piece of root in front of it.
I hit it with a wait, let me look.
Fireball.
Shouldn't
Well,
that be in there?
Can I try to pry it open? Like, it's a door, right?
No, it's the tree that came out of the ground and burst through the stone. One of its roots that kind of bulges up from the ground covers this stairway downwards. So it's just a piece of wood. It's not a doorway.
Yes,
it's a root.
I hit it with a firebolt.
You hit it with a firebolt. There's a small fire that
Can I just
That is
fit
there.
through?
you fit through. You're the only one that kind of can squeeze your ass through the small gap that is there, and you
Well,
fall down. It's a bit warm when you get close to the fire.
can I, with my carpenter's tool, try to like cut it away?
Sure. The fire at one point, it's a small fire, and after one firebolt, after a moment, it just goes out, and there's a decent scorch mark, but, it's that. Although Zero already plopped through, you get one of your carpenter's tools, which is a decent-sized saw, and you just... which will take you a couple minutes. But yeah, you'll be able to get through. It's good that you got carpenter's tools.
Got it for this.
Zira, what do you... You blop down. You get on a small stairway. It needs to be made for one-person traffic only.
Break.
What do you want to do? You see at one point a saw come through, but you're going to have a couple minutes before they get there.
I got that covered. I'll look ahead already.
Okay.
Don't look ahead.
You hear the small claws just
The
travel.
father that no one listens to.
Hey,
I do it sneakily.
hey, go ahead and roll for a stealth check.
That's 16.
16. Alright. You disappear into the stairway below. It goes down before at one point it slowly goes to like a quarter. It turns for like 90 degrees. It turns 90 degrees downward. And eventually you see the end of the tunnel seems to be opening up in somewhat of a room. Do you continue now?
I'll go to before the entrance of the room because I don't want to rush anything.
Are you?
I just really carefully look around.
Hey, you look around. Well, I'll describe. Do you mean you want me to describe the scene for you?
Yes.
Jeez, it was not picking up on Discord.
No.
Hey, you stop and you kind of look around. You see a room that has what seems to be places to hold torches, but there's no torches anymore. Aside from that, the only thing that's in the room, although this is a longer rectangular room, at the end of it, in the center, there is a pillar that stands about 3 feet tall. It doesn't reach all the way to the roof. Like it seems to be like on hip level, like a table height. But it's a pillar. You currently stand like on the edge of the stairway.
I look behind to see if I can hear them coming down already.
You look back. You see that they are nowhere near getting there. You basically all you did was walk down the stairs. By the way, we hear a very weird sound coming from you. I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed that.
No,
I don't hear anything. I have a chair that makes sounds, but I don't see it picking up.
It's not the chair.
No,
don't
it
know.
sounds like a radar or something.
And I threw
You're
it.
being watched.
We're detected. Oh my god.
Wait, let me.
It's paranormal activity.
It's just the friendly neighborhood ghost.
Alright, sure, we'll deal with it for now. But you're standing down there at the stairs. You kind of look back up. They are slowly sawing through the thick root. You are down there earlier than anybody else.
I'll just be very careful and sneakily step into the room.
Right?
Just here.
You sneakily step into the room with a stealth check of DC 16, or with not DC, but with 16. You step into the room. As your foot touches the cold stone ground of the room itself, I would like for you
Things to get fucked.
to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Ah, yes, my specialty. Well, a natural 20 though, so can't complain.
Okay. You put your foot on. You step off the stairway, and what you see appearing around you, there's a blue magical line that quickly draws a circle around you, and the moment it completes the circle, you see it go to the top of the room to the ceiling. Then you see this line quickly like close together and like kind of hang up slightly. Your small size, on the other hand, you just kind of duck down, and the whole line just hangs there. And after a moment, the whole thing just dissipates. That was a magical trap,
Well,
but you managed to avoid it.
group should thank me for setting it up so they don't have to encounter it now.
You're in the room. You hear the faint.
Come on, George.
Get yourself an axe and help me, for fuck's sake.
You step into the room. You kind of look around. There doesn't seem to be anything else. You skitter your way over to the pillar. Kind of look over it. It seems to be a pillar that has at the top. It's at a slight angle. It is circular, and in it there is a handprint. Seems to be a humanoid hand, average human size. No claws or anything like that. Just a hand.
I look at my own hands. I look at it. And I would be able to reach it?
You
Or
would
am I
have
too
to.
small for it?
You would have to try climbing up it.
Yeah, okay, so I look at my hands, try to reach it, and think, no, that doesn't work. Mage hands!
Right. You cast Mage Hand.
Doesn't do anything when it's on there.
Right. You go up with the Mage Hand. You hold the Mage Hand in it, and the Mage Hand disappears, kind of gets sucked into the pillar. And there's a faint stone sound.
Ah, yes.
As a part of the wall ahead of you just lifts about 3 inches off the ground. It stays like that for a moment, and then it falls again.
Hey, interesting.
I go towards the wall.
Now you go over to the wall.
And
Looks
cast
like a
mage
wall.
hands again!
You cast Mage Hand again. Again on the pillar.
Wait, before I do that, I quickly write a note.
Alright. By the way, it lifts 3 inches off the ground. Not a lot. You would not fit through, is what I'm saying. You would know.
I'm gonna write a note.
You write a note.
I write a note, and it basically says, "Anyone there?" And then I cast the mage hand and do it again, and throw my notes into the wall.
You quickly flick the note underneath. The stone door shuts again.
And now we wait.
Okay.
While we investigate the rest of the room.
There's
Because I'm
nothing.
waiting for these dorks.
There's nothing else in the room, and the door doesn't seem to open from the other side again. So unless you yourself open the door once again, we'll have the party arrive. After some strife and tribulations, eventually you all manage to lift this large piece of root out and kind of roll it off to the side. All of you enter and see there sitting, goggles up, waiting, Zira, who has been sitting there for about 10 minutes.
Good, you're still, you didn't go too far.
So what have you found?
I found this! Look! And I cast the mage hand.
Right, she casts Mage Hand on a pillar that stands there. There's a handprint in it. The hand gets sucked into the pillar, and the door kind of... The stone wall on the other side just lifts for about 3 inches and shuts again.
Well,
Can I investigate the hand pressure pillar thing?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
that seems pretty obvious then.
What is obvious?
You just need to lift it.
Well, go right ahead.
That's the 16.
16. You investigate the pillar, and seeing what happened with the mage hand, it reminds you a little bit of the fire thing that happened before with this, where the staircase came out of the wall. Seems to be a similar type of magic. Roll an Arcana check.
That's a 5.
It's magic, but it seems to.
Can I?
Certain types of magic seems to activate it. Same with the fire spells from last time. The effect, instead of having a stair come out of a wall, seems to lift the wall on the opposite sides to whatever's beyond it.
Can I cast dancing lights and make it a
I assume
vaguely humanoid?
I assume you've done so to be able to see. But
Oh
okay,
yeah, but
you make it a vaguely humanoid shape, and there's the
Yeah.
couple balls floating together.
does it have a sort of a hand?
No.
Piece?
These are like globules that kind of like take the spaces of what a person kind of would be shaped like. They don't have hands.
Okay, never mind then. I relay the information back to the party. That I think that we need some sort of magic for this, just like my fire the first time.
Well then, do your thing.
I doubt it will work, but I will try it. And I throw a fireball.
You throw a firebolt at it. Alright,
Yeah.
you throw it at the pillar and kind of just hits it and just scatters. No effect. There's a bit of soot left on the pillar.
Well, that didn't work.
Like I said, I don't believe that works.
Well, the mage hand, or the mage hand, I don't know that spell. The hand thingy surely seemed to work, right?
What type of magic is that?
You can make an Arcana check if you wish. Otherwise,
I will.
Zira, you're proficient in Arcana, right?
Yes, I am.
That's Conjuration magic. You know that. You could answer that.
I will answer it if they ask me.
Well, she did. She just asked.
Roll an 8.
You rolled an 18. Mage Hand's
Yeah.
a Mage Hand is known to be conjuration magic of summoning stuff as well as teleportation.
Well, that's a type
you-
of magic I have no knowledge of.
Does anyone have knowledge of that?
Magic? No.
Don't even start with him.
No, but maybe Brie or Zira? Maybe you have any idea? Have more spells for that?
Let me go check.
What kind of spell do you need?
Conjuration was it, right?
Conjuration seems to do something, and evocation seems not to do something. That's all you figured out.
No, that's
Okay, then no
necromancy.
evocation.
You have no idea what the other schools of magic do.
I just sort of walk up to that pillar.
Yeah?
Or
And I lay
illusion.
my hand on it.
Yeah.
I cast guidance.
Alright, you cast guidance. You try to cast it, but there's no creature there to hold on to, and the spell just doesn't even, it doesn't even fizzle out. That nothing happens. Guidance seems not to be.
Lay my hand on it.
Yeah.
Mending.
Mending is transmutation, right?
Yep.
Alright. You cast mending. You feel the repairing nature of the spell kind of take form in your hand, and a bit of pressure pushes back against your hand before that suddenly sucked away, and the door raised about 3 inches and slinks again to the ground. That's after just
Transmutation does also work. Don't thank me later. So,
It's all spell mumble jumble to me.
yeah. You have no fucking idea what the fuck they're talking about.
well, still, I recommend if we raise that thing a little and you go stand under it, see if your spell works of strength.
Well,
I'm gonna
the
cast
only-
fist.
You want me to try to hold it open?
That's
Well,
what
you
I'm
can
asking,
try.
but it's a joke. Look, it's a fucking stone slab as far as I can see.
I
Is it a
can
stone
lift
slab?
that. I can
It's
lift
a
that.
pillar. You mean the wall?
The-
That's a
the
wall.
that open.
That's a solid
can
wall. You don't know how
Yeah,
thick
you're
it
gonna
is.
lose your fingers or your everything that's under there. Look, you're strong. You're not that strong.
unless I can cast the mage hand a bunch of time after in a row, there's nothing
Well,
I really can do. I've nothing
Brianna,
prepared.
and you know, I mean, if you have any ideas of cantrips that could help, you know.
Well, I could insult it, but I don't know if that's gonna help.
I know what cantrips do you
But
have?
If
I have minor illusion, vicious mockery. Those are my cantrips.
All right.
And yeah, mostly with my spells, it's for me like disguise myself or charm person. So that won't do anything with the pillar.
Well, you haven't seen. You know that transmutation does something, divination
Yes.
does nothing, evocation does nothing, and conjuration does something.
Yes, but
That's all
I
you
have
figure out so
enchantment
far.
and illusion.
You haven't tried them yet.
Well, give it a shot.
Okay, I'll try vicious mockery on that thing. You stupid thing!
Oh,
I'm getting
Though
frustrated.
though everybody feels a little sadder, that spell seems not to have any effect.
Okay, so enchantment also doesn't work. Maybe illusion, and I cast a minor illusion. I need some kind of material thing for that, right? If I want to make something material.
You don't have to. You have your arcane focus, which
Yeah,
replaces
I
your
create a
material.
sound or an image.
Okay.
Or an object.
create a hand.
Oh, I create a hand.
Okay. You
And
created.
the hand goes right through the pillar.
You move it towards the pillar, and it gets there, and it just moves through the pillar. Illusion seems also to have no effect.
Okay, enchantment and illusion don't work.
So, Zira, what if we two do it at the same time?
Okay. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go!
Okay. Both of you cast the spells at the same time. And for a minute, you're kind of both conjuring up this thing, and eventually you cast it at the same time. And the moment you do that, the doorway begins to rise. It rises about 1 feet, 2 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet. That's
Quickly.
5.5,
quickly, go in
6, It stays there for a moment.
Running.
And then it starts going down again. So
We
Bree's
ran.
kind of going for it, and Bree, the moment you kind of start going for it, the thing starts going down again. It leads into,
wait, before
it
we
leads
go
into a
in-
dark abyss for you. There's a bit of light shining
and she
in.
didn't run after Bree.
I just grab Zero.
Just
I
die.
just want to grab Zero. I just grab. I wanna grapple
Very
Zero.
well. Let's see. Angie and Bree, you guys are the first going. I would like for both of you to make a athletics check. I should quickly try to dash through.
Let's see. Athletics. Well, that's just a d20.
I would say athletics or acrobatics.
Acrobatics. That is acrobatics for me.
I probably
21.
21.
would do stuff. So.
Yeah, Bree, you just and then you see you just start going, and then you see the thing coming down, and suddenly you're much faster. But you are on the other side, and you're looking back, and the thing starts coming down, and Angie is going. Angie, what are you doing? Athletics or acrobatics?
12 athletics.
12 for athletics. Alright, you run, and you get under it, and then you stumble, you kind of faceplant for a moment. Your legs are still where the thing is gonna come down, but it's still like relatively slowly coming down.
I crawl further.
I would say with Bree's help, you kind of pull her out of it. Luckily, you were the first to go, because if you're later, that might have been a problem.
Wait.
George, you grab Zira and just dash for it. Go ahead
No,
and make...
I'm not dashing. I'm staying.
Oh, you're staying. Okay, you're
I
making
wanna
sure that it
grapple
stays.
Zero and make sure she doesn't go under there.
Zira, do you let yourself be grappled?
No.
Aye. George, make an athletics check contested with Zira's acrobatics or athletics.
Are you fucking out of your mind? We don't know if
Yes.
there's an exit.
Yes, I gotta make sure I take. Well, I'm gonna take. Oh, that's. I forgot the D. Okay, yeah, that's a success.
So, George, what did you get?
A 12.
Zira, what did you get?
A 2.
You're like, let's go, and you jump off the pillar, and you're jumping, and you're still floating. You're still floating. What's happening?
Zero, let's think about this one, right? We open the gate and it's closed
Util, what are you
again.
doing?
We go beneath it, and then what? We're stuck there?
I wasn't paying attention since they were doing magic shit, so I just hear them the door go up, and just like, oh wait, shit.
Do you go after the two of them? Or do you stay?
How far is the door down? Okay, could I make it?
The door from 6 feet only went down in. You would have like 5.5 or 4.5 feet still. To kind of, you probably have to go like it, but you can probably make it, unless you fuck
Yeah, I'll
up.
try.
Go ahead and make an
make it.
athletics or acrobatics check. You know, unless you like fuck up, you'll be fine.
Whilst holding and seeing Utsil. Utsil, look for a pillar on the other side and let us know, okay?
Yeah. That's a 10.
10. Alright, you run. You see. You just quickly dash because you weren't exactly sure. You see there, Bree is pulling something from the ground. You smash into Bree. You kind of push Bree and Angie further into the room, but you yourself fall forward. And you feel this heavy weight. Kind of when you stumble up, you feel this heavy weight pressing down on your feet. As you kind of just drag your feet. As you quickly drag your feet under it, your feet have been slightly crushed by this stone thing that came down. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage from the torch just landing on your feet, not crushing them, but that was not comfortable.
No.
By the way, it's super dark here for everybody. Utsil, one thing you immediately notice.
Dancing lights on.
Aye. 1 second. Before you cast that, Utsil, one thing you immediately notice with your passive perception and your dark vision here, being the only one, is there is a little note on the ground that says, is there someone there? In small goblin handwriting or kobold handwriting.
And pick it up and just Is there someone there?
Can any of you hear me?
Yeah,
Can they
I
hear
can
me?
hear you.
No, you
well.
don't.
Then I
Um,
don't respond.
So, this is gonna be funny. Because only half of the party made it through. Utsil, Brie, and Angie. Angie and Brie, you don't see anything. So, naturally, Angie casts Dancing Lights. The moment you do that...
Oh god.
One moment. The moment you...
Something bad is going to happen.
Why are all these people so impulsive, Sarah? Why are you so impulsive?
Because I've been waiting to go there for the last 10 minutes.
That
I
is
get it,
fair.
but what if there's no way out for them? Only you and me can open this door from here.
There's a way out. Otherwise, the people who would go from here to there would never be able to come back, so they obviously made a way out.
Do we have any proof anyone got out?
Find out?
The moment you guys do that, the light lights up a longer hallway, and scattering from the walls are hundreds and hundreds of bats, or they seem to be bats at first. You notice these are fleshy, winged, mostly bat-like creatures. They have humanoid-colored skin, hairy backs at the heads, a long tube-like nose. And I would like for the three of you to roll for initiative, please.
Nice.
I feel like we made the right decision.
I am annoyed with George, so I use my thieves tools to, enchant his armor to smell like rotten eggs.
First of all,
Sure.
Angelina screams when she sees the creatures.
Hey, that's very funny.
Very loudly.
That's very funny, because they don't hear it on the other side.
Well, we'd probably just open the door again, considering the situation.
How long
but
does it take to cast either Mending or Mage Hand?
feel like instantaneous.
No, the duration is
1 minute.
probably...
1 minute.
Aye.
So there you go.
Alright, in that case.
Yeah, 1 minute.
For both the spells?
Yes.
Alright, so...
Well,
That's your butt,
that's a problem.
Bree. So, just to quickly show kind of what's happening here. There are two large swarms of these creatures. Oh. That's not good. There you go. And there. In a rather
Let's
thin
see if we
hallway.
survive this.
Oh, we will survive. Don't worry.
It is a rather thin hallway. So, Zira and George, you guys are casting spells. But the rest of you, I would like to know 25 to 20.
Natural 20.
Alright. Okay. So. 25 to or 20 to 15.
Yes, 16.
I've got a 7.
Alright. Angie and alright, Bree. So,
I'll be right back.
well, it's good. As you guys enter this room and these bat-like creatures suddenly start flickering all around you guys. There you go. Alright. Just let me check real quick. There we go. Alright. These creatures just in two large swarms start flying towards you guys. Let's see. First, it's their turn, because they rolled also a natural 20, but have a higher dex than Angie. They quickly start flying towards the one from which the light came. The other group quickly flies towards the largest one of the group. And the first one is going to try, the whole swarm is going to try and make a blood drain attack against Angie.
Can I use my reaction on that? After they hit me, try and hit me?
For what spell? For True Strike?
True Strike. Or depends on what they roll, by the way.
True Strike will not work, as this is not a singular creature. This is a swarm.
So Shield may work.
Shield may work, but True Strike is like against a single opponent.
Okay.
To hit you is an 18. Angie? Angie?
One moment, please.
Okay.
Nope, 18 hits. Even with shield, so never mind.
Right, very well. Angie, you suffer... Let's see. 14 points of... You suffer 14 points of piercing damage as you feel these things just jab themselves into you. You guys look over for a moment, and right after the spell is cast, Angie is just covered in these creatures. Just completely.
Oh boy.
Alright. By the way, the one temporary hit point you lose goes first, and then the rest. The other one is going to try and attempt to hit Utsil for a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
You suffer 14 points of piercing damage. And also Utsil is just covered by these creatures. Just completely they'll just lash onto you like massive mosquitoes, basically. Alright. After that, Angie, you are covered in them. You can barely sometimes see, like you're almost blinded, but not completely, but they're all over you. What do you want to do?
I use a bonus action to cast Flame Blade, the
Okay,
second level spell. It is concentration.
Okay.
And as an action, I will try to hit, the things.
Alright, go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage.
Just a D20
Yes.
because
D20. No, this is your. I'm pretty sure it said you may have to make a melee spell attack. So it's the same as Shark and Grasp. You add the +5.
that's an 18.
18 does hit.
And it does 10 damage.
Hey, 10 points of fire damage, right?
Yes.
You quickly move the blade close towards your body. You see a lot of these creatures just like wet hands just slap against the ground. Make a Constitution saving throw for me, please, at the end of your turn.
It's a 21.
21. You see a lot of these creatures just... At that point, they all just kind of detach from you, kind of start flying back slightly. They are keeping a distance from you. You're not 100% sure why, but you might indicate. They're just...
Are they still within 5 feet though?
They're still within 5 feet of you, yes.
Okay.
They just left your space. Or they're not out of your range. Alright. After that, Bree, it is your turn. What do you want to do?
Cast Shatter on a point that's 3 blocks away from me, straight 3 blocks away, so it won't hurt me or Angie or Utsil, but it will hurt both of the
Well, the thing
swarms.
is, this swarm... Here, hold up, let me get it right. This swarm is in Utsil's space.
Okay,
Because they're
so I only
covering
can
him.
get that one that's...
You could
to
only
Angie.
get... Yeah, unless you also wish to cast it on yourself and... Yeah, no, there's no way you can get Utsil and the other swarm without also getting yourself.
Okay, then I will do 2 things. I will cast Shatter as an action, and I will use Bardic Inspiration die as a bonus action on Utsil.
Alright, Shadow is a loud thunder thing, right? Just like...
Yeah.
Okay, very well. Zira and George. You, standing on the other side, see the door close. Utsil kind of disappears under it. You're like, and you start recasting the spell. But 12 seconds later, you hear a very loud from the outside. It's very hollowed, but that did not sound right. You're not sure what it was, but that's what happened. There's a heavy right over there. Because it's right there, and you're in this like smaller hallway, the 3 of you, for the next 5 minutes, are considered deafened. You guys can't hear anything.
Oh no.
Fair.
So, because it's a loud thunderclap in an enclosed space 5 feet away from you.
Yeah, okay.
You're deafened for 5 minutes. But go ahead. That is a Constitution saving throw for the swarm, yes?
Yes.
Very well. That is a 17.
They succeed, but they take half damage.
Go for it.
Okay, that's 3d8 thunder damage.
Mm-hmm.
Only 3d8, I think. Yes, no pluses.
Nope.
That's 19. By half, that's 9 damage.
That's
Rounded
10 points
up,
of
it's
damage.
10.
Yeah, 10
Yeah,
points
10.
of damage. Very well. With that,
10 points of thunder damage.
you see a lot of these creatures slap against the side of the wall and the floor. They just splatter up just guts of blood that they have been collecting from Angie. It just splatters all across the wall. Very similar to what happened a couple days ago with the kobold, actually. There's just blood and guts all over one side of the wall, and mostly Angie. The
I
swarm...
want to inspire Utsil.
Alright, the swarm is still there, but Utsil, you are inspired. Utsil, you're covered in these things. You feel them draining the blood from your system. What would you like to do?
Well, first of all, since I have an extra point of rage, I will rage.
Hey. You will enter into your barbarian rage, just angrily slapping around you as these creatures cover you.
And I will attack attack the creatures.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and make an attack roll. You're basically like, ugh, like just not
Yeah.
trying to hit yourself.
That's a 23 to hit.
23 definitely hits.
For 9 damage.
Very well, 9 points of damage as you're just you're like punching these creatures off of you. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Yay. D20. 16.
You push off and resist, and you can most of these creatures you kind of throw off of yourself. They take some distance, and they're no longer on you. But yeah, that happened. There's like you now see with the light that there's the only light now is actually coming from the blade that Angie is holding, but there is just blood all over you right now. It's partially yours, partially theirs, It's bad. But top of the round, it is their turns. These ones are going to evade, not trying to get closer to that fire, and are going to try and attack Bree. So,
Of
Bree,
course.
as the
Yeah.
swarm kind of just flies away from Angie, they kind of charge towards you for a 10 to hit.
Okay.
Does that hit?
A 10.
10.
Oh, a 10 doesn't hit. No.
Aye.
it's
You
13.
quickly drop to the floor. They kind of just fly above you, and you kind of swipes with the sword. They kind of just make way and keep some distance. They are not getting any closer. The other ones, the ones near Utsil, are going to try and come back for him for an 11 to hit, which I'm
Bless
also
you.
pretty sure doesn't hit. You kind of dodge and wave out of the way. You kind of like punch back to make sure they keep some distance. But they don't manage to attach them to any of you. Angie, it is your turn. What do you want to do?
I will hit them with the sword.
And you swipe at them with the sword to your right. I assume the one next to Bree. Go for it. Make an attack roll.
That's an 8.
Ooh, an 8 does not hit. You kind of like swipe your sword through the mass, but they'll keep a fair distance from the fire.
That's all I will do.
Very well. After that, Bree, it is your turn. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna use my action to attack them with my rapier.
Okay, you quickly try to shish kebab them with your rapier. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Yeah, let's go. It's 4 to hit. It's a 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Okay. And I roll damage. It's a d8 plus 2. It's 7 damage
Nice, 7
for the one
points.
in front of me.
Very well, 7 points of damage. With that, you quickly swipe, and you kind of carve up like a bunch of these creatures. They all kind of slice in two. You see, anytime you slice them, there's just an extraordinary amount of blood that just splatters out from them as they all kind of drop to the ground. No longer alive. There is, though, still a significant amount of them left. Or enough to be able to remain as a swarm. Utsil, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I want to swipe at the ones in front of me.
Go for it. Make an attack
Twice.
roll.
Oh well, let's see if I hit this one. It's a 13 to hit.
13 does hit.
Oh, nice. For 9 points of damage.
Alright, 9 points of damage. You kind of grab one of them, you kind of push them through the swarm, you kind of gather up like a bulge behind them, you just you jam them all against the wall, they kind of just splatter. Second attack?
Yes. That's a 24 to hit.
Also hits.
For 6 points of damage. With a +2 for
Yes.
my rage bonus.
6 points of damage, very well. With that, you quickly cap a few extra that just start scattering. It's like hitting a water balloon, almost, but out of blood. It's just, and it just splash open. It is disgusting. Anyway,
I'm used to it.
these. There we go. After the Utsil, it is the Sturgis's turn again. The ones in front of Bree are going to once again attempt to attack her, as she's the one that swiped at them. That is a 14 to hit.
That hits.
You suffer 11 points of damage, as you are now covered in what remains of this swarm. They just attach onto it's significantly less, and they deal less damage, but it's still a lot of these creatures. The other ones are going to try and attempt to lash themselves onto Utsil again, but that's a natural one. You make sure to keep a distance. You're kind of backed up in the corner, making sure they can't get behind you. Alright.
You'll do that again.
After them, Angie, it is your turn again. You see Bree now covered in these creatures, while Utsil's kind of in the corner, keeping them away from him.
Can I try and hit them once again?
Sure, go for it.
That's a natural one.
Natural 1 misses. You swing across them, no effect. Like they can't. You see that one of them kind of scatter off for a moment before reattaching. But
That's all I
sadly
can
enough,
do.
very well. After Angie, Bree, it is your turn. You're covered.
Yeah, let's hit them again with my rapier.
Go
I
ahead,
wanna
make
get
your
them
attack
off of
roll.
me. 22 to hit
22 hits.
and 6 damage.
Alright, 6 points of damage. With that, you kind of quickly do a quick like dance routine where you like do a quick pirouette and they kind of all just fling off of you. You quickly with the rapier, you carve just a bunch of them up, and they all perfectly split into just hitting the ground. It rains blood for a moment before you come to a quick. Oh wait, they're still left. But this swarm is no longer. Utsil, it is your turn. You see these creatures away from you. You see a rapier like dangerously close to you in this small corridor. But you don't hear anything. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just hear.
Yeah. Go ahead and smack
I-
him.
I will smack him. Smack him good. That's a 22 to hit
22 hits.
for 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. Very well. With that, you start punching the last of these blood-sucking bats to the ground. And you guys are all just covered in goo. And with that, you guys notice now, behind you, the door raise again. Yeah, let's see if we can get the... I see that Max has turned his his sound off. You, Max. You. Can we get his attention, you think? We'll see.
I think we should send him a message.
Yeah, please somebody send him a message.
He's just staring.
I think he must be doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Is it working?
Yes, you definitely.
Nice.
He's back. He's back.
It takes a moment. There we go.
Yeah, there he is.
So, after hearing that loud, like, explosion sound, you guys are casting your spells on the pillar. At one point, your spells go through, and the pillar raises again. Well, you notice on the opposite side, there's just bits and pieces of flesh and blood and bone that just fall from the inside of the door and just hit the other side. For a moment, you're scared until you see on the opposite side a magically illuminated fire blade that kind of shows the area around, where there's like as if a bomb of blood just kind of just splattered all across the inside of this this wall or of this corridor. You see Utsil still beating into a pile of dead bats, seemingly. They're all breathing heavily, covered, gross, tired, and in pain.
Took you long enough.
I look at George.
You made me miss the fun!
Are we gonna normalize just running into things without any reason?
Let's see what was in there.
Well, you could have died.
Yeah, I could have, but I didn't.
Oh, by the way, it takes about 5 minutes for the deafness to fade, and you guys can hear
yeah.
something again. But after
we
that,
can't
this
hear them.
conversation takes place.
Yeah, I did scream. Took you long enough, but I don't hear anything. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a moment where there's like
Way
miscommunication,
loud.
but eventually you guys hear each other again.
Well, we can see what's inside right now. Left? Yeah. Do we?
You see a corridor that's about 15 foot wide and about 15 foot high that kind of just continues into the darkness.
Okay.
Yeah, what can I see?
The same thing, it just further.
There's more darkness.
Yeah.
Okay.
if you guys wish to take a short rest or anything, that can be decided, as we're going to be picking up right here at the beginning of the next episode. Hopefully, we're not going to have any technical difficulties at the beginning of the next stream. Next week on Saturday, we'll be back with episode 4 of our campaign. If you want to rewatch anything that you have missed, go to our YouTube channel that's down on our Twitch below, so you can rewatch all of the previous stream and even the whole previous campaign that we've done, but ended a little shorter, or quicker. So yeah, with that, thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for coming to play, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.